We use the term problem to refer to lots of different situations. I could say, I have a problem for homework, a problem with my brother, and a problem with my car. And all three mean very different things. Clearly, we encounter problems in lots of different areas of our lives. Depending on the context, this word can have many different meanings. For now, let's just say that a problem is a situation that could be fixed or improved. We solve problems all the time, but we don't often think about how we're solving problems. Having a strategy or a process to approach lots of different kinds of problems can make you a more thoughtful, creative, and successful problem solver. Watch the following video and ask yourself these questions. How did you follow the problem-solving process in the last lesson? And how could you use this process on a problem in your everyday life?
Hi, I'm Ryan, and I'm the head of software at Zipline. Zipline operates across Africa using drones to make life-saving blood deliveries. We deliver medical products like blood and vaccines to places that otherwise can't be reached. We all deal with different types of problems every day. And one way or another, we come up with solutions. But did you know there's actually a series of steps you can take for solving any problem? It's called the problem-solving process, and it has 4 basic parts. 1. Define. Identify the problem. 2. Prepare. Research previous solutions and brainstorm new ones. 3. Try. Put a plan into action and test to see what works. And 4. Reflect. Review what worked and what didn't, and how you might change your approach in the future. Let's take a look at how this process is used in the real world by looking at where I work, Zipline. At Zipline, we started by defining the problem. First, when people need blood, they need blood fast. Second, blood is very hard to store because there are many different types and it expires quickly. And third, most of the world does not have roads we can rely on for delivery. The next step was to prepare a solution. First, we traveled to Africa and met with doctors, the people on the ground who are most familiar with these problems. We learned that storing the blood in one place would really help, if only there was some way of getting the blood from that place to remote clinics on demand. Next, we came up with all kinds of ideas and really let our imaginations fly. The solution we thought might work was an airplane-shaped drone that could fly really far, really fast over all kinds of rough terrain. When it flew over its destination, it would parachute drop a package of blood to the doctors on the ground, then return home. Now it was time to try this all out. Thanks to previous medical research, we knew techniques for building a blood storage facility. So we built one in a central location so that we could deliver blood to almost anywhere in the country. Then we built drones, a lot of drones. We tested how to fly the drones, turn them around and recover them. And as we tried, we had successes and we had plenty of failures. We quickly learned that dropping the blood from the sky worked really well, but we also learned problems like weather and hardware failures could slow us down a lot. So as we tried, we had to go back and prepare new solutions as we defined new problems. Finally, we had something that worked. It was time to look at what we had done and really reflect on how it had gone. We reflected on our original definition of the problem and asked if our solution was better or worse than what existed before. We even started to think about how our solution might be used to address other problems. Could it work for delivering medicine or even organs? Could it work in reverse and collect items from distant locations? And could we get this solution to work in other countries? For each of these questions, we went back and we redefined our process and we made it better. The problem-solving process works in all kinds of areas: creative, personal, existential, you name it. By using these 4 steps, you can figure out a process to make anything work.
Now we're going to go to code.org. Once you get there, you need to sign in. Continue with Google, the red button. Click on your name and find Lesson 2, the problem-solving process. Click the green button. And then get the activity guide, the Google document. Make a copy. Looking at our activity guide and the problem-solving process, it says having a strategy for approaching problems can help you develop new insights and come up with new and better solutions. This process is generally useful for solving all kinds of problems. So the diagram on the right describes the process as a never-ending circle of improvement. For starting with, define what problem are you trying to solve? What are your constraints? Constraints means what's holding you back? What's stopping you from solving it? And in your mind, what does success look like? On the next one, it says prepare. So how do you prepare? Well, you have to brainstorm. You have to sit down with your group or your friends or by yourself and research possible solutions on how you can solve it. You compare what's good about your idea with what's bad about your idea, the pros and cons, and then you make a plan. And then you have to try to put your plan into action, see if it works. And then after you put your plan into action, you have to reflect. After you think about how did the results of your efforts compare to the goals you set while defining the problem? What can you learn from this or do better next time? And what new problems have you discovered because of it? Because if you did get new problems, you have to go back and you have to redefine some of the problems that appeared after you put your plan into action to try to work around those. So scrolling down to the bottom of the page, on the first page of the activity guide, we see what it looks like. You're going to list the strategies and processes you and your team already use for each step in this process in relation to the aluminum boats. For each step in the problem-solving process, list the parts of the activity you believe that fall within the steps. For example, when you define, as we said before, what are the problems you're trying to solve? So when you are building the aluminum boat, what problems were you trying to solve? What did you have to do and what did you have to build to do it? The brainstorming part. When you prepare, research possible solutions, compare pros and cons, and make a plan, just like it says up at the top up here. Keep looking back and forth so you can stay on track with what you're doing. The try part. Put your plan into action. And as your plan is going into action, remember you were dropping coins inside your boat. What was happening when you were dropping coins inside the boat? What was the result? In the reflection part, we're looking at how did your results compare to the goals you set? What happened with that boat? So what went right, what went wrong, and how could it be better? So that's what you're going to do on this section down at the bottom of the first page. Below the define, prepare, try, and reflect, we have one further question. What strategies do you use in solving this problem that could help you solve other problems? For example, did you kind of talk to the other groups or other people? Did that seem to help you solve your problem of getting more coins into the boat? Did you do it by yourself first and then talk to your class, your teammates? So what strategies did you use in solving your aluminum foil boat problems that you can use to solve other problems? Feel free to talk with your teammates or other groups about these different strategies that you could use. So let's look at the last problem that we're going to look at. So think about a problem that you and your classmate or your team want to get better at solving. Find the people on your team and try to figure out a type of problem you can probably both get better at solving. Fill out the questions below with strategies or steps you want to use to try to solve this problem using the problem-solving process. First, tell me the type of problem you're going to solve by writing it up here. And then go through the steps once again. Define, prepare, try, and reflect. And then answer that question. What strategies could you use in solving this problem that could help you solve other problems? So remember, guys, the problem-solving process. Define, prepare, try, and reflect. That's all for now. Take care. Be safe. Bye-bye.